Sunshine, Wild Ones, it's Bernadette. I'm here with your Pick a Card Daily Tarot reading for Friday, October 16th. Woof, there's a lot to unpack, so I'm just going to jump right in. And to kick things off, the first thing I want you to do is ask yourself, who do you love? Who do you love? Yes, that's my owl for today, because guess who showed up? The moon card, the owl card. And wow, that's a second big message this week. Just a couple days ago it was Coyote, which is about seeing through illusions, seeing the truth of things, and owl just drives that home further. So remember now, Fridays are the throat chakra day, right? Our beautiful blue throat chakra. It's going to be all about speaking truths and telling truths, whatever those truths are for you. We know that Venus rules Friday. It's all about the love. And listen, who doesn't love the moonlight and the romanticism? The whole thing is just delicious. And it all spins together today. So, diving in further, remember now, you guys, the moon card is part of the major arcana. And that really is all about the hero's journey. So I'm going to lay some pretty heavy duty stuff on you guys today, but it's not heavy duty in a negative way. It's just heavy duty because sometimes in life we really have to consider things that may not be, like Disney. It may not be a Disney day, right? And that is today. But the good news is that where the moon sits in the journey of the hero, which is, the major arcana, it's Joseph Campbell's hero's journey. Basically, the moon is lighting your path to success. It's lighting your path to accomplishment, and whatever this owl and this moon mean for you today, or for the coming week, or the coming next couple of weeks, you're going to be victorious. So take a deep breath. Everything is cool, and let's talk a little bit about this. Now, I read with my own award-winning Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck, and the tarot cards inside, they're based on the Rider-Waite system, that traditional Rider-Waite system. And then, of course, it marries all of the animal ally energy and medicine with that particular card. So when we take a look at the traditional Rider-Waite card, let's take a look at some of the symbolism in the moon card and get down to really the nitty-gritty, the specifics. And one of those things is, when the moon card comes out, there's big energy afoot. Remember, moons affect the tides. Our bodies are like, what, 80% water, 85% water or something? So when there's a full moon, kooky but true, hospitals and police departments ramp up on staffs every time there's a full moon, because they know that on full moon times, people get crazier, they do knucklehead things, they tend to get hurt more, and that's because that moon is affecting all the water in our body, and people just really, a lot of people don't know that, and they don't know how to handle it, so they go a little bit buck wild, right? Okay, but Mother Moon is always there looking over us, and so when you're seeing the moon today, especially today, Venus Day, it's all about the loves, right? Who do you love? But hopefully, mostly you love yourself, because this reading is not about what's outside of you. It's really about what's inside of you. And when moon and owl show up, it really is about psychic connection at the deepest places. Like the most psychic that you could ever think, the most psychic that you could ever dream that you could be, you are. And it's time to acknowledge that. It's time to really tap into your subconscious and really also pay attention to what's going into your conscious, or what's coming from your conscious mind also, because it's about illusions. Now, it's really interesting that earlier this week, Coyote came out, and Coyote's about the same thing. Now, Coyote is about finding the humor when you uncover those illusions and those truths. And Owl is about flying through the Akashic records, not being afraid to see into the darkness, into the shadows. And I always find when Owl as the moon comes out in a reading, I take some special time with clients, and I say to them, so do you believe in the Akashic Records? Do you believe in past lives? Most of them say yes. And I ask them to sit for a moment with whatever is disturbing their spirit and think, is some of this coming through from past lives? If you're having a row with somebody, a disagreement with somebody, maybe you're going through a divorce of some kind. Maybe there's a work relationship that didn't work out. Maybe you're just flat out unhappy with yourself. Maybe your relationship with yourself ain't all that hot, right? So it where does that come from? And for those of us that do believe in the Akashic Records, that do believe in past lives, we can carry over so much from those times that, not only do we get to deal with everything in this life, woohoo, it's a party, but we get to contend with maybe some unresolved things from a past life or those past lives. However, again, count on the moon, count on Owl to guide your way. And it doesn't have to be this big giant fanfare of, my favorite thing are people that are on this self-healing journey, right? Because they want to tell you, like, that's the first thing they want to tell you is, I'm on this terrific journey of self-healing and I'm doing this. Okay, good. How can I help you? And I find that the people that do the work the most deeply and move through things the most quickly are the people that do things in silence. They don't have to announce their stuff to the world. And, social media has given us a crazy platform to do that. And of course, you've got to go about it in your own way. But Owl teaches you how to fly silently. Owl flight patterns, they can't be recorded. They've got this whole thing with their wings, the way their wings are, different sets of wings inside. And when they fly, when they move, they are completely silent. They are undetectable. And it's kind of like when you've got a friend who just disappears for a little while and something's going on, but you ask, you're like, hey, is anything going on? Can I help? I sense, I this. Nope, all's good, or I'm working something out. And then all of a sudden, poof, they pop up and they're like, da 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 da. Those are the people that have gone on that silent hero's journey where they have just, determined, hey, this is not working for me. This is not working for me. I gotta heal this. I gotta fix this. And here they come, right? Okay. So when you take a look at the traditional Rider-Waite card for the moon, the path that the wolf and the dog are on, which represent both sides of our tamed nature. The dog is the more domesticated, our tamed nature, and wolf represents our more wild nature. Now that's a whole conversation I could get into. I'm personally am not willing to accept that dogs mean that there are domesticated nature or our tamed nature, and wolves represent our untamed nature. Symbolically, I get it, and symbolically, I would agree. But when you boil it down to the nitty-gritty of what animal behavior is, not so sure about that one. I could make a lot of arguments that they're kind of one and the same. And you've got to decide. It's like that old adage, there are two wolves inside of you. Which one are you going to feed? There can be two dogs inside of you. Which one are you going to feed? So understand when you're taking a look at your journey today, especially Friday, it's throat chakra day, it's truth-telling day, it's all about the love today. It's ruled by Venus. Always bring it back to the love. Always bring it back to the love. What are you trying to accomplish? What love do you want to give that's maybe not been so well received or received at all? Are you telling the truth? I have people call me all the time for readings, you guys. And we'll get in a reading and they'll just be like, I just don't understand why this person doesn't return my feelings. My first question to them is always, did you tell them how you feel? 98% of the time, no. Okay, well, you're going to have to tell them because, they may not be psychic or, everybody's psychic, but they may not be picking up on whatever passive-aggressive clues you think you're telling. Likewise, if you have a love that just is not working for you anymore, it might be time to have that conversation and then decide together what you guys want to do about that or not. And that road ahead can look a little bit scary. It really can. But then take a look at Eensy Beensy Baby Crawfish. The crawfish that's there, he's taking his first step, but he's committed. Crawfish can't walk backwards. Lobsters can't walk backwards. They can only move forwards. So it is time to move forward And even if you feel like, oh, I'm this beansy crawfish, but I've got this big task to undertake, okay, let the wolf, let the dog help you along your way. Let the uh, let the moon shine your way. It will. And tap into the energy of owl, because owl can help you fly straight and true through whatever darkness you think that you might be facing, which could be part of the illusion. You may have all this built up in your mind, and it ain't going to be all that. Most things really aren't when we boil it down, if we are committed to the outcome. And it's kind of like, I think it was Benjamin Franklin that said, if you're going through hell, keep going. That's the best advice I think I ever read. Anybody ever told me anything in my lifetime. Don't plop down in the middle of hell. Don't order a latte. Just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Eventually you'll get to where you want to be. And that may change. Today you may think you want to be someplace, and then you get there and you go, oh, whoa, I can go further. Yes, you can. You totally can. Okay, so in the background, there are the two towers. They symbolize the boundaries of human understanding, and it's kind of like outlaw territory, because when you start to really accept your psychic self, um, and it can be a mind trick. It really can, because the first thing we always want to think is, was that my imagination? Am I fooling myself? But over time, when you think about why you want to tap into your psychic self, the love, whatever you love, why ever you want to tap into your psychic self, that will guarantee that you're not having figments of your imagination. Although, I mean, listen, where else do you think psychic stuff comes from, right? And when I say the love, what I mean is this. You guys, I've been doing this a long time, and I could give you 2 handfuls of psychic mediums that are doing this earnestly because they love people so much that they want to help them in their way. And that way is psychic mediumship, spirit animal, shamanic, tarot, Reiki, all of those things. A lot of people are doing it because they think they've been given a gift. Okay. That's not love. Not the kind of love you need to be accurate all the time. Not the kind of love that people are hoping or thinking that they're going to come to you and receive. It's not the same. And then some people just do it because they want to be the cool kids on the block. Also, that ain't love. So always remember that everything boils down to love. Again, it mostly has to do with your love for yourself, because as you think about the Venus energy that surrounds today, as you think about your throat chakra and telling your truths, that may not have anything to do with psychic anything for you today. It may have to do with only truths. And truths can, I always say, speak your truth even if your voice shakes, because absolutely no good comes of not. I just had a situation myself recently. I referenced it earlier in the week, and I'm moving through it. I'm moving through the hell. But all I can keep coming back to is, people ping me sometimes. They're just like, do you have to be so straightforward? Yes, I do. And here is why. It may sting for a little while, but there will come a day that you will be so glad that I was straight up with you when everybody around you wouldn't be or couldn't be. And in this particular situation, this person had been harboring all kinds of thoughts and feelings about our relationship and me. And you could have knocked me over with a feather. Now, let me just say, in truth, about a month ago, this person said something to me and wrote me something, and my spidey senses just, man, I was so uncomfortable. And I couldn't push it aside, and I couldn't push it aside, but I made myself push it aside because my love for this person is so great that I just was not, nope, I'm wrong. It's my imagination. Surely not this person. No way, no how. Fool me once, never again. And I should have spoken my truth. but so should that person have, because we would probably still have a very beautiful relationship today, and maybe lasting even more years than it's already lasted, which has been a lot of years. But that person never spoke their truth. They just vomited it all out at one time in a heat of fury, in a heat of not having given thought, not having found nothing. They just, it was The Exorcist. But my love for this person, the first thing I did, I sat there and I thought, I'm going to be the owl. I'm going to sit here in silence, and I am going to take everything that they vomit on me, because that's what they need at the moment. And I did. And it didn't make one bit of difference. Today, who knows what it'll mean, but the point is that no matter the truths that need to be spoken, you to somebody else or someone to you, it's time to fly like the owl and seek out those truths. It's time to understand, are those truths arising from only this lifetime, or are there some things that really, really need to be thought of from past lives? And there's just such a call. Athena in Greek lore, she had an owl. And so she's the goddess of judiciousness and expert strategy. She's also a harbinger of victory. So when owl comes to you, if you're into Greek myth and everything like I am, my God, I don't even know how many books I have about this ever since I was a kid. You might want to call on that to help you through. And it doesn't have to be all like heavy, heavy, heavy like I'm talking about, but there is some serious heavy-duty energy going on right now, and the closer we get to that day that shall not be mentioned in November, it's just ramping up and ramping up. Y'all should see some of the emails and Facebook messages I get. People they're losing their poo, y'all. And so, there's a time to speak your truth, whatever that will mean for you, and then you might be being called upon to simply sit in silence, because that is a form of communication as well. And let me explain what I mean by that. When someone else is spinning, when someone else is losing their poo, how helpful is it to try to argue with them? How helpful is it to try to ramp them down? How helpful is it to try to out-anger them or out-this them? It's not. And it takes a tremendous amount of strength to sit in complete silence when someone is coming at you. Trust me, I'm a triple Scorpio. The Mars energy is strong in this one. I know how much strength it takes to just sit in silence. But you see, when you don't address something from someone that is heinous or hurtful or wrong, plus patently wrong, when you don't get into the fray, when you don't lower yourself and you just sit quietly, that says a lot. Sometimes it can say more than anything you could possibly imagine to put together. The best written, the best orator, the best whatever. Sometimes to simply be quiet says more than anything else, because your quietness will make them uncomfortable. Your quietness will cause them to, their spirit will start to be like, and I'm not suggesting that you pull a power play. I'm not. What I am suggesting is that this card for you today tells me you're on a hero's journey. And where you're at in the journey, you've come through so much. I just honor you. You have come through so much. And here Owl is going to teach you how to fly. They're just going to teach you how to get through that little bit more darkness. And here the moon is lighting your path to victory. It's right there if you'll just step on the path. If you'll just spread your wings and fly, you're going to get where you want to go. Not where you think you are dreaming of going, but it's only a dream and it not really come true. It's just a dream. It's just a figment of my imagination. No. Wherever your soul really wants to be, wherever your spirit really wants to be, Owl and the moon have got you today and always. So, just very quickly, if Owl is your spirit animal, it's time to face the shadows. If Owl is your totem animal, you're one of those people that can face craziness in silence, good for you. And if you want to invoke Owl as your power animal, it's because you really want the power of Owl to help you see through the darkness and see what the truths really are. And because Owl is such a master communicator, and today is Friday, throat chakra, Venus, please let it be all about everything that you love, everything you don't love, who you don't love, and most importantly, that means yourself. Take a good hard look at what you love about yourself, what you don't love about yourself, and get that straight before you take a look outside of any of those circumstances. Because once you understand what you love, what you want to love about yourself, what you don't love, what you want to fix, what you want to heal, everything else that orbits you will come into it will come into synchronicity. So I hope that was helpful. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you get these daily readings every day. Pick up your copy of the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck as I pick up one of my notes hanging on there. And y'all, just remember, dogs may be domesticated in their own way, and there are domesticated wolves in their own way, but at your core, you are a free spirit. You are strong, you are powerful, and you can live your life the way that you want on your own terms. So what's the most important thing today? To stay wild.